YouTube. Hey, this is Debo on here. Gonna be answering VA disability questions, all things VA. Okay, I'm here. I know it's lunchtime. Trying to ask a question. Want to get a laugh? Gonna be answering all things VA disability, veterans benefits, GI Bill, Chapter 35 benefits, all benefits of veterans. If you were recently denied a claim, let your boy know. Let's talk it out. Get you, get you sirs connected for the benefits y'all deserve. Hey, y'all fought hard for. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Let's see how the live is going to be today. What is up? What is up? Hey, you got any VA disability questions? Let your boy know. Recently denied claims. Stop by to say hi. What's up? What's good? What's Gucci with it? Any veteran benefits? Anything at all? Let your boy know. Gonna be answering questions for the next, I don't know. Usually it takes like 30 minutes. So, hey, you got a question? Please ask now. Don't wait until I jump off. Don't wait until, your boy gets tired. He gets tired of waiting. But, until someone says something, I'll start talking about my, just some VA disability things. And by all means, feel free to cut me off. Anytime. But, yeah, so, what is up? What is up? Hey, you got any VA disability questions? Let your boy know. Lives has been active, asking questions, recently denied benefits. You stop by and say, hey, what's up? What's Gucci? Hey, what's up? Let your boy know. Feel free to comment. I'll stop my story at any time. Hopefully the audio ain't bad. Let me put the mic back on. Let me put the mic back on. But yeah, gain all my knowledge in the VA clinics process, just going through it myself, as well as, back in 2020, I had a buddy of mine who was talking a lot of shit. So I'm like, okay, fuck, let me figure out this VA claims. Let me figure this out. And, my method hasn't got me denied anything. Actually pushed me from 10% to 100% in 2 years. And it's good time. Helped a couple of buddies along the way, as well as, try to help. Because, people, they think they know the process like I did, and they do whatever the hell they want, and it doesn't go in their favor. I got a buddy of mine, he was at 90%, didn't know how he got to 90%, and thought he could just put in a claim and get that 100. Boy, was he wrong. Hey, I see y'all coming in. Y'all got any questions? By all means, cut me off. I'm just telling stories, asking answering any VA disability questions along the way. But I had a buddy of mine, he was at 90%. He was trying to push 100, and it didn't go out well for him. So he didn't have any current medical evidence. He wasn't being seen for anything. He didn't know if his disabilities were static or not, and it turns out they weren't static. So he got a decrease. Well, he put in for a couple of things, for increases as well as for new things. They gave him mental health at 50%, but he was at TBI. They took that away. He went for increases for knees, shoulder, hips. He had 20% for each. They decreased him to 10%. So he went from a total of 90%, like a true 90, down to 80. And then the VA took away his migraines because they couldn't differentiate it from his TBI. I got a couple of videos on that. Like, you need to be able to, at least with mental health, as well as with migraines and TBI, if they can't differentiate from the three, they're going to lump them all together. And that's what they did. They took away his migraines, bumped it down. So he's sitting at 70% right now, trying to get that claims back up. But, hopefully he listens to your boy now. A lot of people, they think they know what they're doing. He thought he knew what he's doing. But, I know he said he was getting in. He found a good VA VA medical doctor. So hopefully that goes out well for him. He got the diagnosis that he need. He got the medical evidence. Now, he definitely should have requested for a board hearing when they were proposing a decrease, because then at least then it would have postponed, it would have put those decreases on hold up until the time in which, they still have 60 days to provide them with medical evidence. But that decrease doesn't take effect until he gets in front of an actual person, not just, 60 days. If the VA don't collect any documentation to maintain you at the percentage, then they're gonna bust you down. Man, the VA, if you're going in for an increase, I always say, oh, here you go. How you doing, Jamie, Miss Gonzalez? Let me read that for you. Okay, let me see. Oh. Do I need to constantly see a doctor to increase PTSD depression claim? I stopped my treatment for PTSD because it was too much for me, waiting on CMP exam. Okay, for an increase, you don't need to see them like every week. I mean, depending on your severity, it could be good or not. I mean, but if it was too much for you mentally, it was like mentally taxing, physically taxing, then, you could cut it down to once a month, once a quarter. It just depends on your circumstances. As long as that doctor is able, your psychiatrist is recording your severity of symptoms and how they've been increasing, any new symptoms that's arised, definitely you want to have that on documentation. Yeah, but you definitely don't need to be seeing a doctor every week, or a psychiatrist like that fact, in order to put in for an increase. But the main thing for at least mental health increases you want to take in consideration is are you already service connected? Let me see, increase. Okay, I would assume you are PTSD, depression. So the main thing you want to focus on is how has your symptoms worsened since your last CNP exam, as well as what has been the increased or additional impacts to your personal and your work life. So if you've any personal, if you haven't provided a statement from like friends, family, spouse, kids, how your mental capacity and output dealing with them has changed, degraded, as well as if you can obtain like a good buddy statement from a coworker or a supervisor is always good. You want to get that, and they can document the professional side, because whenever you're going in for an increase, just so the VA can establish a percentage, they need to first identify the symptoms, how severe are they, how frequent are they occurring, and then on top of that, to getting increase above 30%, 50, 70, and 100. 100 is like total, your mental disability is taking the toll on you completely. But at least, if you're trying to get 50, 30, 50, or 70%, you need to show, like, if you've lost work within the last year, you're in between jobs, if you've lost duties at work. Hey, yo, what's up, Nick? What's Gucci, dog? If you can't get promoted due to your mental health disability, you want to capture that in that CEP exam, Jamie. Hopefully that answers your question. I mean, and you don't have to take in if you haven't already, write some notes down, or I would say a personal statement. Write some shit, write some stuff down so that you're not trying to reach for something. You're going to be in the CMP exam. You might be a little nervous talking with the examiner. Some people don't open up, but it's best if you go in there like, hey, look at the DBQ, assess yourself, as well as any symptoms that has been that's been documented in the medical evidence that you actually supplied to the VA for the increase. Talk about how your symptoms and any new symptoms have, my bad. Talk about how your symptoms have worsened since your last CMP exam, as well as any new ones that's arise. First, you want to identify the ones that are on the DBQ, because that's for rating purposes, and then any symptoms that are outside of what's listed on the DBQ, and then going from there, you'll eventually come to what has been the personal and the professional impacts. And hopefully that answers your question, Jamie. And hopefully what medical evidence did you supply for that increase? What's up, Nick? Nick the Magnificent. What you doing, dog? What's Gucci with it? You know what I'm doing. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Ah! All right, until Jamie gets back to us, or Nick. Hey, you got any questions about me? Just let your boy know. I'm just telling stories and shit. But yeah, I got another buddy of mine. He got out. He's at 50%. He got 40% for his back. A lot of zeros. Oh, no problem, Jamie. No problem, Jamie. You are certainly welcome. And hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Hopefully you're having a good Tuesday. And hopefully the CMP exam goes well. And whenever you do get that CMP, like whenever you get the date, when you go in, make sure, I say bring the DBQ and, your notes or your personal statement. I'm only at 30%. Okay. 30% total or 30% for just mental health? But I definitely recommend you at the very least bring the DBQ. You can write your notes on there if you want, and or your personal statement to identify the symptoms that you've been that you've been dealing with since your last CMP exam, as well as any impacts to your personal and your work life. Because you don't want to go into that exam and then they try to rush you, or they try to downplay your disability. You definitely want to take control of the examination once you go in there. An average. I mean, I'm not saying it needs to be 5-10 minutes, 4 hours, but you definitely want to hit. Okay, yes, my symptoms have increased. The severity of my disability has increased since my last CMP exam, as well as my symptoms, impacts. Kids don't want to talk to you no more. Coworkers don't want to work alongside you anymore. You want to be as open as possible in order to get that increase. Hopefully that answers your question. Motherfucker, true for real. I have a CMP exam for secondary to sleep apnea. Had to change NP. Okay. VA wanted to send me to a bad 2-star review. NP. There you go. Change it to another one. We'll check those reviews. Oh, 100%. I tried. I had a CMP exam with sleep apnea as well. It was a NP, but for some reason I couldn't find any reviews on her. But she turned out to be good. I mean, she's like what? She's been a doctor for maybe like 40 years, but it was her first year actually rating, being a CNP examiner for the VA over here in SoCal, Redlands area. I think she worked for LHI. She was actually pretty good. She was detailed. She had the DBQ open. Not most, CNP examiners got the DBQ open, and she went question by question. I mean, I already went in there knowing, because I was on a supplemental, because I was previously denied for my sleep apnea back in 2018. I went in, had my DBQ, had my personal statement, had everything I needed to, go line by line. And she initiated. She like, okay, blah, 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 in service. This was a direct service claim. So, she was able to identify some of the pages that I brought in and I put into my my claims package, clearly identifying, my complaints and, captures of signs and symptoms of sleep apnea, as well as complaints. So that's my, that's my in-service complaint. So she grabbed that, and then she's like, okay, when were you diagnosed? And I was diagnosed, 5-6 months post-military, because I was processing for the Drug Enforcement Agency, and your boy fell asleep during the polygraph test, choking on the tongue. Nah, I mean. And it's okay, blah, blah, blah. Had that document too. Had a federal email saying, hey, special agent motherfucking dick butt, hey, we think you got sleep apnea. You need to go fucking check it out and see if you do, because you're over here choking on your tongue in the middle of a CMP, in the middle of a polygraph test. I'm okay, bet, baby. And from there, she went to, okay, blah, blah, blah. Did, she looked at my sleep study results. They're mild to severe, and I required the use. You want to make sure your medical evidence has required use of a CPAP. I have been seeing veterans get service connected for sleep apnea, but they get 0%. This could be mainly due to the required use of a CPAP. So if that verbiage is not a motherfucking for real, if that verbiage is not on your medical evidence, you might want to, grab that and see if your physician or that sleep study doctor who conducted the test can, add that information if you are required use. But, for those veterans who only have 0% for sleep apnea, there's a 10% and there's a 30% as well. If you have daytime sleepiness as well. And I had that shit too. I still have it. Fall asleep. If you're falling asleep in unidealistic times, such as at work, while you're driving, in a meeting, on a fucking polygraph test. Oh, any other questions? But until I get a question, I'll just keep running my chat. But yeah. So that was my sleep apnea. She was good. She was really good. Did all that towards the end. She was like, she did ask, would have been some impacts utilizing the machine, the CPAP machine. How's it been using it and stuff like that. Give my personal opinion. She said, once you get service connected for it, there's other options, but it all depends on your severity of symptoms. Jamie had sleep apnea during service. Didn't have a sleep study done back then. Have a CPAP now. Is that enough for service connection? So, do you have... So, it's not... it depends on your medical evidence from your service treatment record. Do you have clear complaints of sleep issues, Jamie? Like, that's the key thing that you need to establish. Like, I was never tested for sleep apnea in the military as well, but I had multiple complaints of, not being able to sleep at night, waking up, falling asleep in different areas. I had documented complaints of, signs and symptoms of sleep apnea, as well as for insomnia, which I have service connected as well. But does your service treatment record have any complaints of sleep issues? Just had complaints of sleep issues. Sheep. There you go. So if you haven't already submitted a claim for sleep apnea, you definitely want to detail it. So whenever you believe they started, you want to start, in your personal statement, you want to start, okay, blah blah blah. This is Jamie. Have buddy letters too. Okay. Did you already file for sleep apnea, or you haven't done so yet? While I'm over here talking and asking questions. Because if you haven't already, you definitely, there's a strong, you have a strong, possibility. You wait and see. Okay. So did you pull that information from your STR? Like, all the times you complained about sleep issues, did you pull that? And then with your sleep study, how soon post-service did you get diagnosed with sleep apnea? Oh, appreciate dog, Steven. Yes, sir. Thanks for all the insight. Yes, sir, or ma'am. I think I just see a drink. Is that just a drink? Oh, that boy over there. Drinking. There you go. Anytime. Okay, Steven. Even Stevens. Yeah, Jamie. Hopefully you got all that. You actually pulled that information, all the complaints you had in service. You got that on your claim alongside your personal statement. I didn't pull it in my service record. I figured they would already have it. I thought the same thing. And when I filed my claim for sleep apnea back in 2018, I had a lot of complaints in service. I was diagnosed. My diagnosis date was 6 months post service. Submitted all that, and I was still denied. So you definitely, are you doing everything by yourself, or are you working with a veteran service officer? But if you haven't gone to that CMP exam, and either you have a VSO or you don't, you definitely want to pull that information and add it to your claim. Because like right now, the VA, they're dealing with a lot of PACT Act related claims. So you want to make it real easy for them to give you a service connection. Like, you don't want them like, oh shit, here's Jamie. We got to dive through 4,000 pages of documentation just to see if she complained once about a sleep issue. So I would definitely recommend that, Jamie, if you haven't already. But yeah, but do you have a VSO, or are you doing everything by yourself, Jamie? That's the biggest question. Because if you have a VSO, I definitely recommend sweeping your STR, grabbing those complaints and adding it to that sleep apnea claim. Okay. We got John Clemmer. Just recently started watching your content. Very insightful. I appreciate your help. It's helped me with my own claims and buddies from the military. Oh, appreciate the love, John. Appreciate the love. Yes, sir. I try my best. I try to spit that knowledge here and there. And yeah, definitely pass the information on to all your active duty buddies. I still got active duty buddies that'll hit me up like, hey, I saw your channel and shit. I know you're doing this, motherfucker. Give me some tips. Some tips, tricks, and cheat codes. I'm like, all right, dog. Well, best thing is get into medical, at least yearly. Like, don't let your chain of command, fucking, put their dick on your forehead and be like, no, sit down. You're not going to medical. You're not getting shit. Like the same leaders, like I was talking with someone earlier about this. The same leaders that tell us not to go be seen for medical conditions, disabilities, and injuries are the same leaders who are going to get out 20, 30 years, retirement pay. They're going to get 100% disability off the rip, probably SSDI and all the other bullshit. So no, definitely go, pass on that info, John. Pass on the info. More knowledge we know. Motherfucking even Stevens. I have an initial claim in over 160 days. Waiting, no movement. Any advice? I have a upcoming Vericall. There you go, Steven. Yeah, that Vericall should alleviate, at least some stress. I mean, at least my personal experience dealing with Vera. They got a lot of details. They can see what's going on with the claim, as well as, if it's just like, if you finished all your CMP exams, you're just waiting on that rater to fucking, adjudicate it. They can always ping the actual rater that's dealing with your claim. Because majority, I would say like 95% of the Vera representatives, they're either current VSRs or they were previous VSRs. And now, they're just like a VSR in limbo, just helping out vets and shit. Jamie, no VSL, thanks for your help. No problem, Jamie. Oh, yeah. Hope you have a good day. But, I mean, you can still upload that on va.gov or Access VA if I definitely recommend doing that. Because or at the very least, when you go into the CMP exam, ask the rater, were they able to find your in-service complaints? And then they should be like, yes or no. I mean, prior to you going in, or even if they say no, be like, okay, pull up my record and find them right now. Because I'm not going to leave without, me knowing that I got, service connection, or you can't find it, or, some bullshit that they give us. LA, man, welcome back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. Welcome back. Any questions? Got the pre-workout in me. It'll probably be surging your boy in a minute. But yeah. So that was my sleep apnea story. Okay, LA. How do I increase migraines disability? Currently, I have 0% VA disability with service connection. Okay. Hey, 0% is half the battle. 0%. I was actually at 0% when that was like one of the only things I saw it of. Gotta give that snapping finger. Hold on. I got ashy fingers right now. Hold on. Gotta lube them up, dog. But yeah, so to get an increase, you definitely need to be on medication. You need to be on medication. You need to be seeing a physician. It doesn't need to be every fucking week, but you definitely need to reestablish, like, hey, go in, talk to your physician or neurologist. But hey, I'm getting migraines X amount of days, a week. Depending on what you're experiencing and what you're trying to seek, you definitely need to be able to record how frequent and how severe are your migraines. I utilize the Migraine Buddy app. Android and iPhone has it. You can download it off of the app, and you can plug in information. And I believe it's still, you can plug in information up to a year prior to the day you download it. I'm not too sure, but at least there's a starting point. I mean, if you can't, you can start from today. Start documenting how often you're getting, whenever you get a migraine, plug it into the app, and then, smiley faces, from 0 to 10. What are some additional symptoms? Did you have to, go to sleep, fucking call off from work, you have to sleep in a dark room, whatever the hell, and you can download all of that data and you can attach it to a VA claim. So aside from the Migraine Buddy app, your complaints to your doctor, being on medication, possibly trying I think it's, I forgot what it's called, but it's plastic surgery, injections, some shit like that. I'm not too sure the specific term. If you're a candidate for it, or if it's within your Medicare, or if you're just going to VA disability, cool. But definitely a personal statement, maybe one or two buddy statements, one from your personal and one from your professional life. Do I need? Yep, you do need a lay statement. So just like with mental health, migraines has the same criteria for at least the 30 and the 50%. You need to show how has your migraines been affecting your personal and your professional life. Yeah, Botox injections. There you go. There you go, dog. Appreciate the strife. It was like on the tip of my tongue. I was like, fuck out of here with that shit. But yeah, so you're gonna need Migraine Buddy app, diary or log to record how often you're getting migraines and how frequent and how severe. Frequent, what the fuck? Medication. If you're a potential candidate for Botox injections, but that's not going to stop whether you get, an increase or not. They're mainly going on the severity and how often, and if they're prostrating. Prostrating is the key word that the VA is looking for the 30% and the 50% criteria. In order to get, if you just have, if you submit everything outside of a buddy statements and a personal statement, you could get 30%, 10 or 30%. But the VA is looking for boss mode with the snapping finger. Yes, sir. Hold on, my shit. Hold on. Can you still see me? Oh, I tapped it by accident. But yeah, so definitely gonna need Migraine Buddy app, frequency and severity. I would definitely take a look at the CFR 38. I think it's 3 to 4 migraines a month for 50, or a week. 2 to 3 per month for 30%, but it just depends. Definitely check out the CFR 38. I got a couple of videos on migraines too. But I use the Migraine Buddy app. My complaints to my doctor. I wasn't a candidate for Botox injections. Detailed personal statement, pretty much showing like, okay, since I've gotten 0%, I've been getting migraines fucking 3 times a week. Especially in the summer. I don't know why. It's something with the summer. And I drank fucking 2-3 gallons of water and I'm still getting fucking migraines. But I got a buddy statement from my supervisor. How many days I've taken off work, work performance. I printed out my my leave days, my leave and sick days. As well as provided a personal statement. And then with all that, went into the CNP exam. Doctor was cool. It was with QTC. He documented everything. Like, he already had the DBQ filled out prior to me coming in. It's like, yeah, your personal statement was real good in detail. Juicy meat potatoes. I was like, that's right, baby, that's right. And he was like, everything is here. He just wanted to go over everything with me. It was still like a 25-minute CNP exam, because prior to me learning as much as I did know, like, I would just walk in to a fucking CNP exam and then fucking walk out 5 minutes later. Do I need to submit the timesheets? Like, if you're taking from work, yeah, I mean, you can utilize your timesheets from work, or I don't know if you have a separate system for, like, your paycheck stub and all your benefits. You can download it from there. Any sick days or time off that you took for your migraines. And then add that to your personal statement as well. It's like, hey, I took fucking 48 days of fucking sick leave, sick and regular leave to deal with my migraines and shit like that. And then you can print out your timesheet log showing that, okay, look, these are all the days I took off from work to deal with this disability. But any other questions? Anything else? I'll give y'all another 5 minutes. Oh, got the dad vibes up in his house, chilling. Oh, it's kind of hot in here with the AC on. Night ops. Oh, yes, sir. You gotta get the night ops in here. But if y'all ain't got nothing for me, I ain't got nothing for y'all. Hope y'all stay Gucci with it. Y'all got any questions, you can hit your boy up. And yeah, any questions? Last call. Any questions? Last call. I know you'll be waiting until the last minute. What is the story behind it? Night ops? That's a long story, man. Long story short, when I was in the Marine Corps, our boss, I had a master guns. Okay. Do you submit a migraine buddy log with your supporting evidence? Yes, Jamie, you do. You submit everything. Like, whenever you submit a claim, you want to make sure everything is there. If it's a direct claim, in-service complaints, statements, buddy and personal, a diagnosis, any medication you're taking, and any relevant medical evidence that can help direct. If you're going for an increase, definitely always a personal statement to capture how have you been doing, how has it worsened since your last CMP exam, as well as any buddy statements if it's migraines or mental health, when it takes any disability that takes into consideration the professional and the personal impact of the disability. But yeah, you definitely want to submit everything at once. You don't want to just submit a claim for an increase and not submit anything with it, because at that point the VA may or may not schedule you for a CMP exam. Oh, no problem, John. No problem, John. Oh, appreciate you, dog. Yeah, back to LA. So the story behind night ops. When I was in the Marine Corps, I had a buddy. Well, my boss, he would tell us, hey, get the job done, and we'd be deployed. And I would fucking work like from fucking 1800 until like fucking 06 in the morning and shit. So we would be doing a lot of shit at night, night ops, like, make it sound cool. And then, whenever we fucking deployed, went to different countries, we do night ops, you know what night ops is. So, I can't, it's rated R stories. But hey, the main gist of night ops was just me being in the military, and then our boss telling us to, okay, I don't care how you get the job done, just get it done before shift change in the morning and shit. So I'm like, okay, bet baby. Hopefully, that brought a smile to your face, motherfucker. LA. Oh, hopefully. Okay. You got anything else? But this motherfucking Debo out.